upload it. That's not a big deal. All right, so welcome to Prime Thoughts, everyone. We talk about business stuff here. We get into your questions. We'll be talking about news on Fortnite and Paladins later, and then doing an open floor Q&A. Let's get right into it. First up, for our business stuff, our current E3 plans. We are flying out this Sunday at 11:15. We are going to be in LA between 1 and 2 at some point. We got to pick up our rental car, go to our hotel. Actually, pick up our rental car, go pick up our E3 badges. Then I think we had one other stop. We have to go stop at get some food, go to the grocery store. Well, I think we might go to the hotel first to see how big the fridge is. I'm assuming it's just a mini fridge, and then go get some groceries. Some stuff to munch on, some drinks, bottled water. Because we're not going to drink out of the mini bar. Our room, I think, is a mini bar in it that we're totally not going to touch. And yeah, so that's like that's how that works out. We are going to be playing Super Smash Bros. On Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be playing the For Glory. Eric Moore is going to be playing the For Fun. So For Glory, I guess you could say maybe that means there's a For Glory mode. I don't know if they're just calling this a For Glory to signify competitive, or if that means the For Glory mode's back. I'm not 100% sure. That's just what they're calling it. They're calling it For Glory and For Fun. They have two different Smash demos, 45 minutes each. Now, I would love to tell you we're going to have 45 minutes up to an hour and a half worth of footage for Super Smash Bros., but we probably won't. The reason why is, you see this? We cannot use this at E3. It is a tripod for my camera. We cannot use tripods because we do not have a media pass. So that means I'm super reliant on whatever Nintendo rep is there to hold my camera for that demo. Now, for other games, it'll be fine because Eric and I will be together. So we will be together, and one of us can hold the camera while the other one plays. And so hopefully we get to play every game at least twice, so both of us get to play or whatever. And maybe we'll have a rep nice enough that they'll hold the camera for us the entire time we play a demo. Most demos at E3 are not 45 minutes, so Smash is kind of an exception. But if we can get a solid 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes of Smash footage, that would be fantastic. And yeah, obviously we'll have our follow-up impressions and opinions, and maybe even breaking down some of the footage or any news. You know, if we learn about a new Final Smash for, say, the Inklings, which you guys might already know about by the time we talk about it, because, again, Treehouse is going to be streaming. Like, you absolutely should be watching Nintendo Treehouse throughout E3 for all of the fantastic E3 stuff from them. We're hoping to find stuff or do things that Treehouse isn't doing, you know? I don't know what that's going to be. The Smash Bros. Demo, I can't imagine we're going to discover much besides if there's tripping. Maybe if they'll let us play different game modes, maybe we could talk about that. But mostly it'll be impressions. But for other games, we often discover things that Treehouse doesn't do in their demos. So we'll have to wait and see what's all available to play. Right now it's looking like we're going to have anywhere between 30 and 50 videos in a 1 week span. I don't know how the heck we're going to pull off 30 to 50 videos, but that's the way it's working out right now. So, yeah. I would love to say we're also going to be live streaming all of the press conferences with our commentary over the top, whether we're on camera or off camera. Hopefully on camera, like a little small down in the corner like we've done before. But if we can't do that, I mean, we'll have this camera here to do it with. But if we can't do it, it's going to be because of internet speeds at the hotel. If we're not fast enough to stream to us and then stream it back out to you guys, then we're not going to be able to do that. Maybe we can do it without this camera on, then we'll try that. Otherwise, we just won't be able to do it. So I'd like to say we're going to stream every single press conference, but I don't know. Don't know. And I don't know if we'll be able to stream. I mean, I could stream the EA one on Saturday if I can. I'm probably not going to. I think on Saturday I'm going to spend a lot of time with my kids because I'm leaving for a week and I'm leaving my 3 kids behind. So, and my fiance. So, like, I think on Saturday, it's more advantageous for me to kind of just maybe watch the EA press conference on my phone or have it playing on my phone while I'm hanging out with my family and doing stuff. I think that's what I'm going to do on Saturday. So I don't know about any conferences on Sunday night because I haven't looked at the full conference schedule yet on what I might be able to stream Sunday night. But I do know, obviously, Monday's jam-packed, and I'm going to be covering all of that. And we're going to be putting all of the news out at NintendoPrime.net. I do want to get a daily news recap video out on the channel, but we have so many, like between 30 and 50, like exclusive, amazing content to make that I'm not so sure that we're going to get a lot of news video outs. And I know a lot of you guys come to Nintendo Prime for news, but see, that's the thing. We're at E3. So there'll be a zillion and one YouTube channels out there that are at home reporting on news to you guys. I'm not going to E3 to report on news to you guys. I'm going to E3 to give you coverage you can't get unless I am at E3. I can give you news galore. If you guys want me just to sit in my hotel room and report on news, I certainly can, but I highly doubt that's why you guys want me to go to E3. I highly doubt that's why we raised the money to go to E3. You guys want coverage you can't get from just sitting at home. So that is what we're hoping to focus on, and we'll be putting all the news posts up at NintendoPrime.net. For anyone who wants news, we'll be tweeting out that news, posting all that news out on Facebook. So we'll have all the latest and greatest Nintendo news up on our website if you guys want to follow that and maybe get updated even faster than some YouTubers might be able to get content out, because it is a lot quicker to get a news post out on a website versus making a video. So that'll be something that we will be having going on throughout E3, and we'll probably continue it after E3, making sure we get all of the news out on the website. We've already put some up today. Some that we'll be talking about later, like Paladins, Fortnite, etc. Last but not least, I'm a little bit short on cash for E3. No one's fault but my own. I had a bill that I wasn't planning to pay until next week Friday when I get paid again. But I forgot to remove my card off my billing account, which automatically pays. So it paid a $300 bill that I wasn't planning to pay right now. I mean, it's good to have your bills paid, but that means I'm $300 short for E3, and that $300 marked my entire food budget and gas money and everything else that we're going to need. So I don't know what I'm going to do. At least the hotel's taken care of. Maybe things will be okay. Maybe we'll survive. Ramen noodles and hotel water or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Moving on, let's get into your questions. These are the ones that we got beforehand. And then we will get into the news, and then we'll have an open QA forum. So a lot of you guys in the chat have questions. Wait until the open Q&A section. There you can state your questions. Be sure to ping me at Nintendo Prime to make sure I read it. We do have a lot of viewers. I don't want to go back up in the chat to try to read questions. So please get your questions in again at a later time. So the first one we had come in ahead of time comes from Mark Greenberg. He asked if I've seen CND's video. It was kind of confusing, but I think he has depression or something like that. I'm not sure if he has depression, because I'm not saying that depression needs to be clinically diagnosed, but until he goes in and gets checked out, it might not be depression. He could be low on a specific vitamin that's causing him to have anxiety or something. I don't know. He very well could have depression. I'd say, based on what he said and how scattered he was when he was saying it, it sounds a little bit like depression, but I don't know. And he sounds like he's had it for a long time. So it's not even about the fact that he's, meteorically grown popular. And if you guys are wondering who I'm talking about, CND, Captain Nintendo Dude, he renamed his channel to Alex CND. He is what is the most popular Nintendo vlogger in the world. And basically the big takeaway from that video is, one, he's not happy. He's been angry for a while. He isn't as big a Nintendo fan as he used to be. Not necessarily because of Switch or anything happening like that, but more so just because when he created the Captain Nintendo Dude, the CND channel, he was 12. And it's been 8 years, and he's interested in a lot more stuff than Nintendo. And he pigeonholed himself into Nintendo. And he doesn't want to do that. That's why he's even thinking of new ways CND itself can mean something besides Captain Nintendo Dude, because he wants to do more than Nintendo, and he plans to do more than Nintendo. And I've never met him. He's from Wisconsin. Maybe I'll meet him at E3 this year, because he is going to be at E3. And I do know some YouTubers that he knows. So maybe through them I'll end up meeting him, and I wouldn't mind having a talk with him. I don't want to have like some serious chat with him, on the show floor or something. But maybe, if I could sit down with lunch with him and just, because my concern in all of this is really for Alex, the person. He's young. He had a meteoric rise, and he's not used to, he might not be used to the popularity that comes with that, the criticisms you get lobbied at you. He mentioned specifically how people miss the old CND, and that, I've been through some of this stuff before. I've obviously never had a YouTube channel of his size, but I've created highly successful websites with Metroid Wiki and Zelda Informer, Gamnesia. Like, I've been there, and I've been in the public eye. I run a a Facebook page that has 850,000 people following it. Like, I've been in the public eye for a long time, and now that I'm on YouTube, now my face is out there publicly a lot more, and I wouldn't mind talking to him about doing what's best for him. Not being afraid to admit that you need help, whatever that help might be, whether it's from a friend or family or maybe going to see counseling. I would just like to sit down and have a conversation to help him out, because obviously you guys know, I had a battle with depression when I was younger. That he might be going through as well right now. My fiance's got depression. Eric has depression, and it's a constant battle. And I've been helping people like this practically, whether it was myself, Eric, or my fiance. I've been helping people with depression my whole life. So I wouldn't mind having a talk with him about maybe some steps he can take beyond YouTube, right? Like, yeah, on YouTube he's going to cater the content to what makes him happy, and he absolutely should do that. Even though I'm pigeonholed at Nintendo Prime, if it turns out that I start falling out of love with Nintendo and I'm not happy making Nintendo content, I have a second channel. I would tell you guys about my second channel, and I would say I'm making a bunch of content at that channel. I'll still make my Nintendo content when I want to make it over here. Maybe there'll be less of it because I'm focusing on the other channel, but that's how I would handle things. Because when you built up a following of just Nintendo people, it's like, yeah, but I'm going to start doing Microsoft and Sony. It's kind of like, no, do that at a second channel. But I understand it's hard to abandon that first channel when it's as big as his. So, I don't know, but that's like YouTube stuff. Like, he should absolutely do what makes him happy. But I would like to talk about stuff that the off of YouTube stuff, or even how YouTube can affect the rest of your life. The negative comments. I deal with negative comments all the time. I mean, I'm a fat bastard. You know how many times I get called a fat bastard? And as much as I'm so used to accepting that people are just mean, it's still something that it grates on you. You hear it for the 10,000th time, and it lowers your self-esteem a little bit. Regardless of if it's true. Like, it's 100% true. I'm fat, and I'm technically a bastard. My parents had me without being married. It grates on you a little bit, but you find a way to get stronger from it. And I'm sure he's got a good support system, or maybe he doesn't have a good support system. I mean, his family seems wonderful. The people that I know that he knows seem wonderful, but then again, he seems like someone who's been keeping a lot of this internal and hiding it. And I feel like that's what that video was him getting it off his chest and finally coming forward. I mean, Jacob Zacharina, who's been friends with him forever, didn't even know about this stuff. So he's very much been like keeping this internal, and the hardest thing to do is just not talk to anyone about it. So Alex, I don't know if you see this video or if you even know who I am, but if someone who does know him, share this little bit with him. Let him know I care. Let him know that I've been there for people who've gone through this stuff before, and maybe I have some knowledge he can tap into. He's 20, I'm going to be 32, so I've got like this extra 12 years of knowledge of dealing with this stuff, that maybe I can help him out, just to help him get into a better place, which will also make him have more fun making content again, whether it's Nintendo or whether it's just exploring the world and doing some crazy stuff that way, in his RV that he bought. So, all right, very good question. Again, he might have depression, he might not have depression. That's not something I can tell just from one video, but he obviously isn't happy, and I want to see him get happy. Anyways, let me go here. The next question also comes from Mark Greenberg. He said, will we have E3 bingo predictions? Basically, that's a question if we're going to have E3 bingo. We did bingo for a Nintendo Direct before. We might do bingo again. At this point, I'm going to lean to a no, because I have too much on my plate right now. Maybe if there's someone in the Nintendo Prime community that would like to step up to run the bingo, that's fine. Like, go ahead and make all the rules for it, throw the rules at me, and I'll kind of put my final stamp of approval on it, and we'll go from there. I don't mind if maybe that's how it happens. It's just really hard for me personally to run a bingo at this point, because even when I get back from E3, that week I'm back, I'm still gonna have all the videos I never finished, all the gameplay I never got out, all the vlogs and all the content I never got done. I got to get that out the week I get back, because that week I get back I have surgery on Friday. Then I have surgery, and I can't predict what's gonna happen after surgery with my content. I'm trying to prepare for it, but I just don't know what's gonna happen. So that being said, I don't want to have like another bingo lingering on my mind to grade bingo, even keep track of them, and like I don't mind doing payouts, and we can figure out what sort of prize we can offer for the bingo. Like if someone gets a full blackout, like they can. Maybe they get like a $50 eShop gift card or something. I don't know. It's something that whoever wants to step up and run it, they can talk to me about it. But if no one steps up to do it, then we probably won't have one because I just can't do it. I have so much on my plate. Even today, even when I'm done with this stream, I got a zillion things I have to do before I even get to the podcast tonight, which is the betting special. And one of the things is organizing and figuring out how we're going to do the betting special. What's going to make it different this time? And I have some ideas for it, but I haven't actually sat down, flushed it out, talked to the people I need to talk to, like Darren as an example, to try to figure out how we're going to do the betting special this time. I have to talk to Eric. Eric's not going to show up until recording time tonight, so got to communicate with him, and it's just got a giant mess right now. I have so much stuff to worry about just with today's workload. Haven't even got a standalone video out yet today. So there's that. Then again, I did get way ahead on one of my other jobs, which is going to free me up for next week, so that's always good. The next question we got comes from Mark Greenberg as well. Don't worry, not all these are Mark Greenberg questions. I think this is the last Mark Greenberg question in the initial batch. And he says, please convince people not why they shouldn't like Pokemon Let's Go, but why it's a good game. Convince us. I can't convince you of something that I'm not sure of myself. I'm excited for Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. A yellow style remake remastering, hype. The visuals, yeah, it looks like an HD 3DS game, but damn, it looks good. Hype. The battle animations in the trainer battles they showed, hype. I don't mind catching Pokemon the way that Pokemon Go works, hype. But here's the thing, I haven't played it, so like I can't convince anyone that something's good when I don't even know if it's good. I assume it's going to be utterly fantastic and amazing and everything I've been wanting from Pokemon in a mainline game for a long time, but I don't know. So you can't ask me to convince people when I don't have the hands-on experience to tell you. After E3, this might be a better question because Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee will be playable at E3. We are going to go hands-on with it, and after I do that, I can either convince people one way or another, depending on what I'm feeling, or try to convince people at least based on hands-on experience. And again, the reality is because I haven't been like this hardcore Pokemon fan really since like 2000 or so, that most of the hardcore Pokemon fan base isn't going to give a crap what I say anyways, because I wasn't a huge fan of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or Sun and Moon, or X and Y, or Diamond and Pearl, or all the, like, Black and White 2. Like, I wasn't a big fan of any of those games. So it doesn't matter what I say to fans of those games because they're going to consider me irrelevant. That's just kind of how it goes. Because I'm not speaking to them. We're not speaking on the same wavelength, right? Like, they like Pokemon games because of X, I like it because of Y, and it doesn't matter what I have to say about something that they're not interested in, because if it interests to me, that's probably why it doesn't interest to them, right? So we'll just have to wait and see when I play it at E3 and see what happens. The next question comes from Solo Jones 1. He said, what non-Nintendo franchise would you like to see the company make? I.e. Retro Studios making a Castlevania, or Monolith Software making a Persona game, etc. Ooh, a Monolith Soft Persona game would be interesting. Non-Nintendo franchise, I would kind of like to see Monolith Soft, and this is a total bias because I love this franchise. Two franchises in particular I want Monolith Soft to try to tackle. I'd like to see them make a Tales of game. I mean, Tales of Symphonia to me is the best of all of them, but all the Tales of games have been pretty good. So I would like to see Monolith Soft make a Tales of game, or Monolith Soft make a Secret of Mana style game in the Mana series that's not Children of Mana or one of the other Mana games that I ended up not liking too much, but more in the vein of Secret of Mana, like a Secret of Mana 2 or some sort of sequel or prequel or something like that. I would love to see them tackle something like that and bring it into this full 3D world, and it just would be amazing to me. Or a Skies of Arcadia 2 out of Monolith Soft would be awesome as well for a third-party game. Monolith Soft is really good to go to for like action RPG style games, I feel like, and they're like a good fit for that. I wouldn't mind seeing Retro Studios maybe tackle, actually, you know what I really want? I want just one time Sega to contact Nintendo and let Nintendo make a Sonic game. A core mainline Sonic game. contact Nintendo and be like, hey, look, can you make a Sonic game for us? I want to see if Nintendo can do a 3D Sonic game right. Because Sega's been proven they can do some good things at times, but they can't make the complete package, right? Like, to me, Sonic Lost World was a fantastic Sonic game, but there were too many poorly designed levels that really drug it down. I want a complete package 3D Sonic game. I would love to see Sega, Sega and Nintendo work close together at times. I would like to see Sega okay Nintendo for that. So there you go. I gave you guys a few examples there. M the Moon says, what do you prefer? Choose wisely, Nathaniel. Chicken or beef? M the Moon likes chicken. Really, you didn't have to you have to put yourself in there. Speaking in the third person. It depends on what I'm making. Obviously, if we're talking about steak, I like a beef. I like beef. I like beef for my steak instead of a chicken steak, or whatever, pork steaks and stuff like that. Beef for that. For tacos, I prefer beef. For fajitas, I prefer chicken. For anything teriyaki, I prefer teriyaki chicken. Although I do have some spicy teriyaki bacon jerky here to try out that I'm gonna try out when I go to E3. So yeah, just I guess it really depends on the dish. I would say I probably prefer chicken overall when I think about the number of dishes that I like chicken in over beef. But the things I like beef in, I really like beef in. Like, I like spicy chicken sandwiches, but who can deny a damn good burger, like a beef patty burger? If you're into meat, obviously if you're vegan, then none of this matters. But yeah, so I think it just depends on the dish. I can't choose one or the other. Now, if you're asking me if I have to choose one or the other for the rest of my life, and I would lose out on eating beef or lose out on eating chicken, I'd probably go with chicken because I like it in enough stuff. Chicken tacos are okay as a substitute. Chicken sandwiches are okay as a substitute for beef, but beef isn't always, to me, an okay substitute for chicken. And because chicken's technically healthier for you, so if I got to get rid of one, I guess I'll get rid of the one that's least healthy for me. But yeah, don't make me choose. I'm not going to choose. Good thing it's a hypothetical and I don't have to do it. The next question comes from God Bless Texas Epting. He says, what happens when a Michael Jackson fan meets up with a Beyonce fan for dinner, a movie, and a concert? When the dinner is at a pizza place, the movie is in a drive-in theater, and the concert is actually a magic show. You know what happens? A good time. We'll leave it at that. Caitlin Lowry 1 said, my brother and I want to start YouTube channels. What capture card, microphone, and editing software do you recommend that won't be too expensive? Wow. The thing is, I don't know what you mean by expensive. If you're going to invest in equipment to do YouTube, which, by the way, I don't think you should. Let me be clear about this. Unless you want to capture gameplay footage, if you're doing anything where you're going to be on camera, phone. All you need is a phone. Use your phone microphone, your phone camera is perfect to get started on YouTube. Do not invest in equipment for YouTube unless, one, you can financially afford to do so, and two, you plan to be doing a lot of YouTube. Otherwise, your phone, like I started with the phone. Like, a phone can do a lot of things. For gameplay purposes, you'll obviously need a capture card. Unfortunately, I don't have many tips for you for a capture card because there are some cheap $50 to $60 capture cards out there, but I can't suggest you get any of them because they all have issues. Whether it's audio, whether it's frame pacing, whether it's color degradation, whether it's signal degradation. Like, in general, those cheap capture cards, sometimes they work fine and sometimes they don't. And if you're just starting out, you don't want to buy new equipment and not work, not have it like function. So my suggestion is go to Amazon.com, type in capture cards, and look for any capture card that's around $100 with a 4-star plus rating. There's several different types of ones. All of them work really, really well. I'm even going to be getting a new capture card soon because this is a fun thing. I should have put this in the business section. We are upgrading our streams. So right now we stream off this really nice webcam. We're going to be streaming off of this. We just need to get a new capture card. because the capture card I use for my Switch is not good enough. That also means we have 2 capture cards, so in the rare case where Eric and I are both here and we want to do a dual capture stream of 2 different Switches, we'll be able to do that and then just go back to this webcam for the face cam. But yeah, we're going to be using this for live streams now. Not yet. Hopefully by the end of July, when I'm fully recovered, we'll be buying a new capture card. It's going to cost us about $105. We haven't bought it yet. I haven't even budgeted it in yet, but we've convinced ourselves that, you know what, we're going to do it. We even bought somewhere in my office, I have a thing that's an AC adapter for this, so I don't have to use battery power when I'm doing streams, and it's going to be great. I can't wait. I love this webcam. This webcam is fantastic. It's the best webcam in the world right now. Still the top of the top end. But as some note, especially on our podcast, there's flickering at times, and we're tired of dealing with it. So why not use our expensive camera as a webcam? There's still some things I have to figure out on settings and stuff like that. But yeah, well, we're going to be using this hopefully by the end of July for all of our live streams, or most of our live streams. Yep. So beyond that, if you're looking for advice on a microphone, like if you're going to invest in equipment, then you might as well get something decent. So Blue Snowball, they're about $50. They'll get you by, with or without a pop filter. With a pop filter is better. Without a pop filter is fine. It's a great microphone to get started, and you can invest in other things along the way, like shock mount. Like this stand here, this circle thing, this is a shock mount that helps with like tapping on tables, or if you bump the mic. Sometimes people, like I'm bumping the mic right now, people probably might not be able to hear it because there's a shock mount absorbing that shock and not letting it get into the microphone. But that's, you don't need that stuff right away. That stuff you get over time. Like these expensive microphones and the mixer and all the stuff, and this pro grade cam, even this webcam. Like this is overkill for a lot of YouTubers that aren't doing this for a living like I am, because it's good. It's important to have high quality equipment, but work up to it. As I said, I started with a cell phone. You work up to it. That's my advice. When you talk about editing software, Windows Movie Maker, you can still get that at times. It's completely free, and that's what I started out on. There's plenty of other YouTubers that still use Windows Movie Maker. It's not the greatest, and you won't be able to do all like the cool transitions, and you're kind of limited on audio tracks. But you know what? For starting out, it's totally fine. There's plenty of other free software out there as well if you just Google it. I don't have experience with any of them except Movie Maker, because I went from Movie Maker to Sony Vegas, and then Sony sold Vegas to a different company, and now the current Vegas just sucks. So and that's not even cheap, by the way. It's really expensive. Another cheap way to get in, although it is expensive over time, is $20 a month for Adobe Premiere. It's really cheap to get into it, but $20 a month, that adds up. I've spent probably over $400 on Adobe over the past year or so, year plus, paying $20 a month because they don't offer you the ability to buy it anymore. I would love to just like plop down $500, like maybe do a live stream where we raise $500 and I just buy Adobe so I don't have to pay every month anymore. But unfortunately, Adobe doesn't do that. It's cheap to get into it, but it's a learning curve. Steep learning curve for something like Adobe, because you're talking about a professional grade editing platform, and not even I know how to do, like, even I'm on the tip of the iceberg of stuff you can do with Adobe. But I basically every single week I try to learn one new thing about Adobe to slowly apply it to my video. Some people have probably noticed lately I've been using different transitions in some of my stuff, different ways of making images appear on screen, and stuff like that. Like I just recently learned how to use something besides the default transition. Like there's so much stuff to learn. But it's very, very in-depth platform that you can basically do, and there's nothing you can't do with Adobe besides custom animations that you got to use something like After Effects. But I don't even get into that. That's beyond my skill sets. All right, that's really all I have for that. Now we do have a lot of stuff going on in the chat. It looks like Bane the Cat's upsetting some people. But I don't know what's happening. We have a mod active in the chat. I trust them to deal with whatever's going on there. So let's move into the news before we get to our open QA session. So Fortnite's coming to Switch, all but confirmed. We had a video on it a few days ago. It basically, an update went out to the eShop. In that update, it included a menu icon for Fortnite. Then obviously the text, Fortnite update. suggesting, when you see a menu icon pop up. By the way, it was hackers that discovered it, so a lot of people will say, oh, well, Nintendo didn't really do it, or Epic didn't really do it because it took hackers to find out. Reality is Nintendo knows every piece of information that goes onto the eShop is literally the same day public. They've known this dating back to the Wii when they first had an eShop. So ultimately, Nintendo knows anything that goes in the eShop is going to be discovered day one. So when you have that knowledge, because we need to presume Nintendo's not stupid, right? So they have to know that's going to happen. So if you want to keep something to surprise, you don't put that update on the eShop until the day you're going to announce it. Just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, Fortnite's coming to Switch. Don't know when. With an icon and the words Fortnite update on the eShop, you're kind of assuming a next week release. But there's something weird happening too, because I was assuming they were going to drop it the same day they announce it, right? Like Fortnite's available today, and you could play it on Switch like on the 12th. That's what I thought was going to happen. But then something weird happened today. Paladins has been confirmed to come to Switch because Paladins is listed on the eShop now. For $29.99, you can pre-order and preload Paladins right now, which is playable on June 12th. So it would be weird to me if they released Paladins and Fortnite both on June 12th. Like, they could do it. If they hit with a double whammy, the eShop's crashing on Tuesday. But I don't. And now I think Fortnite still might release next week, but they might hit us with Paladins at the beginning of E3. Fortnite drop it on day 3 on the 14th. That's what I feel like they're probably going to do now. Who knows? It could be wrong. Maybe they're going to hit us with both at once and just let people have fun. What I can say is because Paladins is releasing on the 12th, we will not be playing the Paladin demos at E3 because we could just buy the game and play it. So could you guys. So there won't be any need for us to focus on Paladins coverage at E3. It is notable that Paladins is technically a free-to-play game. However, the version of Paladins we're getting is not technically free on other platforms. So you can buy it now, or you can wait till later this year when the standard modes and standard edition of the game is free-to-play later this year on Switch. They don't have an announced date for it yet. Maybe they'll announce a date for it at E3. But yeah, like those are huge multiplayer games. I know Paladins is not as like popular as something like Overwatch, but if we're not going to get Overwatch, then you want Paladins. It's just like if we weren't going to get Fortnite, then you want PUBG, right? Like, yeah, they might be less popular, but they're still really, really popular. And on Switch, the big thing with Paladins is it has cross-platform play. That is huge because that ensures that you are playing with PC users and other people. That brings the community together. It means they could sell 10 copies of the Switch version, but the 10 people playing that game will always have people to play against. So that's amazing. I'm going to be picking up Paladins, assuming I have the extra $30, which right now, since I just paid a bill, I might not have the extra $30. But if I do, I'm going to pick up Paladins day one. Who knows? Maybe I'll be playing it with you guys before I go to the show floor. We'll see. Probably not. I wouldn't count on it. I don't even think I'm going to bring my dock with to even attempt to stream a Switch game to you guys when I'm gone. But who knows? If I can fit it into my luggage, maybe I'll just toss it in. If I don't use it, I don't use it. All right. That's really all I have for the big news that I kind of wanted to cover. We got about 26 minutes left. I feel like that's a good enough time for a Q&A. Remember, if you have a question for me, throw it in the chat and make sure you ping me at Nintendo Prime so I can see your question. I am going to scroll up a little bit. There were a couple pings of me earlier. They might not have been questions, but, I figure I'll check it. Edward Norton asked, did I order teriyaki bacon jerky for E3? I didn't order just teriyaki bacon jerky because I've had teriyaki bacon jerky and it's delicious. I ordered spicy teriyaki bacon jerky. I'm going to be eating it on my... I'm probably going to end up eating the whole bag, honestly, on my 4+ hour flight out to LA on Sunday. It's sitting here teasing me. I want to open it so bad, but you know what? I bought it specifically for the trip. And again, I'm always going to throw this out there. Hey, Savage Jerky, I am more than willing to take on a sponsorship over here. We have lots of people, I feel like, on our channel that love beef jerky, and I really want to have all your jerky. I just don't want to spend $100+ to buy every single bag. But you know what? It's okay. Scroll down, see if we got any other questions. We did get one from Wound Penguin. Are you live streaming from E3? We will have some live stream. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to have a single live stream next week. What I know is we're going to try. If you guys remember some of the cabin live streams from like last week or whatever, internet really matters a lot for live streams. So if we don't have good enough internet, we can't live stream. But we're going to try to live stream. I don't think we'll be able to stream from the show floor. I thought about maybe trying to do a stream from the show floor with my phone, which the phone I've been showing you is not even my phone. This is my phone. With my phone, but I'm not so sure if I'll be able to do that or not. We'll see. Because I wanted to do it by using a little tripod like this. They won't let me do it. Maybe I could sneak in a selfie stick and use that. Because it doesn't say no selfie sticks, but I've never, like, the fact that I'm even thinking about buying a selfie stick for work purposes is just, that's crazy to me. It's just crazy. But we'll see. If I can get a stream to load from the show floor, maybe when I'm waiting in line sometime, I'll toss it up and maybe we'll do a quick, like, 10-minute stream or something with you guys. But there's so many wireless devices at the convention center that I'm not really so sure it's going to work. But we'll try. We'll try. Nintendo Aiko says, which Zelda remastered game do you think will come to Switch and why? Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword HD is going to come to Switch because it's the only one of the main 3D Zelda games that hasn't been remastered at all. After that, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, because they're already in HD and super easy to port over, and Nintendo's all about porting Wii U games. After that, it's all about do they want to remaster a top-down Zelda game? They have never done it. Do they want to do it? And do they want to bring Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask into HD? We don't know. So a lot of variables to consider when talking about it, but for sure we're going to get Skyward Sword HD someday. I don't know if we're going to get it this year, but someday. And I feel like they're going to bring Twilight Princess and Wind Waker over because it just makes too much sense to do it. It's easy money, so why wouldn't they do it? Infinite Hockey, is Fortnite really coming? It is. We don't know when. There's a lot of presumptions it'll land next week, but we don't really know that for sure. We just know the menu icon is available on the eShop. Basically, we're going to hear about it next week. We'll hear about it on Tuesday, and from that point forward, we'll know when to expect it. Maybe it's not going to come out next week at all. The next week stuff is mostly speculation. We don't know if it's going to come next week. What we do know is it is coming to Switch. So the Paladins releasing on Tuesday is what makes me think maybe we're not going to get Fortnite next week. But either way, it's coming. They're going to talk about it. Sweet Life of Dio Brenda says, what do I think of Zelda 2? It is my second favorite Zelda game of all time. It is amazing. It has some of the most complex and skill-based combat in the entire Zelda series. Heck, I can maybe even go on a limb and say it is the most skill-based combat system in the entire Zelda series. I would argue that Skyward Sword has skill to it as well, but it's still kind of easy. So it's not that difficult, and you can still waggle your way through a lot of the games. So, yeah, no, I would definitely say that. I mean, and by the way, you're talking to someone who has issues beating gold Lynels and stuff like this in Breath of the Wild, Lynels in general, and that obviously takes some skill too. But once you figure it out, you figure it out. Zelda 2, there's a lot more complexity to the combat than people realize. And I think why people don't like it is not just because it's difficult, because it's tedious. You have to grind. And grinding is usually not fun in any game that you have to grind in. And that bothers people. But I really love Zelda 2. To me, it was the gold standard until Breath of the Wild came out. Yeah. I could literally spend an hour on the stream just talking about how much I love Zelda 2. Nate's bringing the heat. Let me see here. I will order 2 jerkies from them. Yeah, I love jerky, man. The Savage Jerky stuff. I've heard some very good stuff about it. I really want to get one of every flavor of Savage Jerky in my house. Like just a giant 100. I think it's going to cost me $117 to get a shipment of every single type of jerky Savage Jerky has, but I want it so bad. Red Chaos 173 is, what are your thoughts on the leaks up until now? I mean, the only leaks that I feel like are even worth paying attention to recently are the show floor ones, where it talked about the number of units that were going to be on the show floor. Because now since then, we've had Fortnite confirmed, which Fortnite I know was heavily rumored for a while, but Paladins was not. Paladins wasn't even talked about for Switch until that show floor thing popped up. And sure enough, you can go pre-order Paladins right now. That lends so much validity to that show floor thing about the number of units of certain games. So it sounds like we can pretty much consider Dragon Ball FighterZ as being confirmed because that was on there as well. And some people noted that might have been the second page of their show floor. That might not have been page 1. So that's why you didn't see Pokemon Go listed on there. Or even Smash Bros. Although Smash is a sign-up private thing only, so it might be totally different. But yeah, I feel like anything we saw on that show floor diagram that showed the number of kiosks they're going to have, that right now is looking heavily legit. So there's that. Plus, there's a number of people that came out and said, yeah, like I've done setup and teardown of stuff before. What you're seeing there looks legit. Like that's the kind of thing you would see. Whereas when you see those E3 leaks that always say Nintendo confidential and there's like a list of games, like that's not real. That never happens. Whereas what people were seeing for those kiosks would be what you would see if you were someone doing setup and teardown of an event like E3. So, and obviously if you're doing setup and teardown, that explains the cell phone pic of it because, I mean, you're doing setup and teardown. Like, you're not supposed to be taking pictures. You're probably not supposed to have your phone on you, and to prevent leaks. So those are the leaks that I'm paying the most attention to right now because those ones seem to be the ones that are like it's happening. Koopa Troopa Poo says, how do you prevent your phone from overheating? Don't leave it in the sun. I've never had my phone overheat. So correction. My phone overheated one time, but that's because I left it on the dashboard in my car. So, like, the sun was beating down on it through the window, which enhances the heat you're getting. You never know when it's really hot outside and your car's closed up, you go in and it's really hot in your car. And that's your phone, too, and it's getting beat on by the sun. So, I've had my phone overheat, but only like that. Like, I don't know how, like, what are you doing that your phone's overheating? I played some very intensive games on my phone and never had them overheat. I've had them get hot, sure, but not overheat, because overheat is when your phone is so hot it doesn't work anymore. I've never had that happen. I've had to get really, really hot, but you just kind of deal with it. I don't know. Like, it's all about how the phone is designed. You can't really change the design of the phone to make the heat get less. If you want, you could technically open up your phone and use liquid metal and replace the heat stuff, but then you're getting into a whole realm of potentially breaking things, and I wouldn't suggest people do that unless you are heavily good at handling electronics and you're used to tearing apart phones and stuff. I've had to do some phone teardowns and repairs in the past, but I don't know that I even know enough to confidently want to go in there and put some liquid metal on so I can get better heat dissipation on my parts. Mark Greenberg said that I will do bingo if you send me the old rules, your old bingo template, pay for the prize. Well, you're not paying for the prize, Mark. God, you're not gonna pay for the prize. It's not a Nintendo Prime bingo if a Nintendo Prime fan is the one paying for it. I'd have to pay for the prize. But the old rules were basically, the goal was to always get a blackout in the bingo, right? Like, that's the ultimate. There is no other bingo but blackout. However, if a blackout did not occur, if no one got a blackout, then it's whoever got the most amount of spots covered would get a smaller prize. So basically, there'll be like that big $50 eShop card for anyone who gets anyone, by the way. It's literally anyone. If 7 different people get a blackout, that's 7 $50 cards. I would ask that they give me some time to get all 7 of those cards out because I'm not going to be able to pay them all out at once, but I will make sure it happens. But normally what it would be is like everyone gets a blackout, great. Then it's whoever, or not everyone. If everyone gets a blackout, I'm in trouble. But usually if someone gets a blackout, then awesome. They get the $50 card. Otherwise, whoever covers the most amount of spaces, it was like they get a $5 eShop card. And that's because there could be a lot of ties for the number of spaces. I think the last E3 bingo, we had 2 people tie. But, or the last bingo we did. But this is E3 bingo. So we might have thousands of entries potentially to go through. So there could be 100 people who tied $5 a pop, that's $500. So, gotta be, it's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. That's another thing with E3 Bingo is it's a financial commitment too. But unless I want to give away physical prizes this time, like maybe I want to give someone who wants my Nintendo Labo piano. No, I'm trying to think if I even have any cool merch laying around in here to even give away. I don't really know. I could give away merch, like, you know, first place gets a Nintendo Prime zip-up hoodie jacket. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this jacket, guys. Look at that. Nintendo Prime on the back. Logo on the front. Full-on zip hoodie. I mean, this is like a $60 value right here. I've never done that. I've never done giveaways to give away merch. You guys let me know in the chat. Would you like me to do giveaways or contests where I just give away Nintendo Prime merchandise? I mean, I still have to pay for it. It's not free for me. I don't make my own merchandise, so like it's not homemade. I have companies I go through, but I still have to buy it. Let me guys know. Let me guys know if you're interested in stuff like that. If I did an E3 bingo, I know more people would want to eat, an eShop gift card. But what if like the alternative was like some Nintendo Prime T-shirts or something? If someone gets a blackout, they get the $50 eShop card. If they don't, they get T-shirts or something. I don't know. T-shirts are actually more expensive than the $5 eShop cards. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. See, I haven't put a lot of thought into the E3 bingo. Let me scroll down here. Cursing is not allowed during the day streams. I mean, if I have a word like the S word pop out or whatever, like basically we keep it cable TV. Cable TV levels is what we allow during the day. Any words that would not be allowed to be spoken on cable TV, you cannot speak during day streams. Let me scroll down here. Matthew Kohler says Splatoon 2 big news event. Is that even confirmed to be happening, the Splatoon 2 big news event? I'm just Googling quick. Yeah, I'm not seeing any recent news on a big news event for Splatoon 2. So, I mean, they're good. Splatoon 2's Octo expansion is going to be talked about like crazy at E3 and probably will be playable on the show floor, I assume. Is Fortnite really coming? I already answered that. Let's see here. Edward Norton's hype for tonight's podcast with Eric. Yeah, if you guys want to see, by the way, you want to see the Nintendo Prime podcast tonight live. Otherwise, you guys aren't going to see the podcast until Monday. The betting special is tonight. It is $10 a month for early access on patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. $10 a month there. You can watch our podcasts live as we're recording them. Otherwise, you can get early access to the audio version on Sundays for $5, or you just wait till we release it to everyone around the world for free on Monday. And you might be busy on Monday, so this is one. And some people want to see what the bets are before some of the bets might be answered, because it will be weird when it lands on Monday. And if any of our bets have to do with third parties, and we already know if they're true or not, some people might you're cheating, but like we're recording tonight, so we're actually recording before all the E3 stuff hits. Although now Paladins gets taken off the list. Is Paladins going to be there? Well, of course Paladins is going to be there now. It's on the eShop. Let me see here. What Nintendo IP would you be most interested in trying a Battle Royale game for? I mean, the only one that makes sense is Splatoon, right? I mean, I think it might be cool to do a Smash. Can you imagine a Smash Bros. Style Battle Royale game? Just drop 100 players. So you'd have to have 100 characters, but you have 100 different characters. Everyone can choose what character they want. They get taught, or maybe they're just randomly given a character to make it fair. Everyone just dropped into a giant map, and it's just an all-out Super Smash Bros. Slugfest where the hidden things are the items, right? So like you can find, and maybe they're only single-use items as well, right? Let's make it fair. Like you could find the little star wand, but you can only use it one time. You can find a bomb, but you can only use it one time. You can find body armor, but it only takes away certain amount of damage before it's gone. You can find, food items that take away like 1 or 2% of damage, and just a massive all-out Super Smash Bros. Style, just go in and you already have the tools you need to fight right away. So you don't have to wait to fight, but you still might want to find items and gain advantages, and that would be cool. I gotta say, that would be really fun, and that is so different from all the other Battle Royale games that are all FPS based or like shooter based. That would be nice. I think that would make for a really cool battle. Heck, Nintendo, you better be announcing Battle Royale for Super Smash Bros. At E3. Come on. Man, you want to talk about a Fortnite killer? There it is. Battle Royale Super Smash Bros. Come on. Let me see. Nintendo Ico says, do you think the Switch will have higher specs in the future? I think there's going to be a Switch Pro or Switch XL that's like a new Nintendo 3DS that's slightly higher spec with the Tegra X2. So yes, in that sense, maybe even a 1080p screen at that point, because the Tegra X2 actually uses less power while giving you more performance. It's just kind of how technology seems to go these days. And I feel like Nintendo might do a Switch 2 someday. I don't know if it's going to be part of this generation of Switch or if it's going to be the next generation is going to be a new Switch that's using even more amazing hardware. So sure, one way or another, or maybe both, there will be a Switch one day that has better specs overall. Might not be much, might only be slightly, or it might be a lot, but I think it's going to happen. Let's see here. Gazenja Fox says, thoughts on the reveal of the ability to change umpire calls in swing. What? Wait, what? I didn't know about that. See, you guys are more up to date than me on news right now because I've been way out of the loop this week, doing a lot of stuff with my family since I'm going to be gone for a week. Ability to change. Why are they called umpires? They're not called umpires in tennis, are they? Hold on. What is that news? Was that revealed in the new trailer? That one Rafael Nadal played? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, you can challenge the line. Mario Tennis Aces will let you challenge the line judge and the umpire. No, you cannot play. So you can challenge the call. Wow. Isn't that weird though? Like in real life, I understand having a challenge of a call on if a ball hit the line or not. But I mean, in a video game, you already know, right? Like you already know. It's a video game. It knows if it hit the line or not. I guess it's to make it seem more realistic, I suppose. Just like in Madden, how you can challenge plays. The game knows or not if you were out of bounds or not, or if it was a fumble or not already. But, it adds more realism to it. But like Mario Tennis is an arcade game, right? It's like, who cares about realism? I guess it's just, it's a thing. It's happening. Sure, why not? I mean, are you going to complain about a feature you don't have to use? Let's see here. Angry Apple Angry/Apple. Oh no, sorry, just Angry Apple 125. Make sure to ping me next time. It says, do you think the Octo expansion will release anytime soon? Because they seem to be showing a lot of gameplay, but still no release date. I'm pretty sure it's going to release in July. I'm like it could release in August, I suppose. Because I don't think Nintendo themselves has a major release in August. There's the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, and Wolfenstein 2 Land at the end of the month. But Mario Tennis, I suppose. So yeah, maybe they won't do it this month. Maybe second half of July, like last week of July. I think is a good time to drop the Octo expansion. I don't know. It's up to Nintendo when they want to do it. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Ever think we get Mortal Kombat game on Switch? I want to say yeah, but I get this feeling that we're outside of Street Fighter. Like, we're not even getting Street Fighter 5, so I just don't think, like, there's a chance, like, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition's coming to PlayStation 4 and PC. Why isn't it coming to Switch? I just don't think we're gonna see a lot of fighting game options beyond, like, the SNK heroines. You know, there was also Blaze Blue Tag Team Battle or Tag Team Cross Battle, whatever, just released. And you know, some smaller games like that, you know, Street Fighter 2. More of the second tier of fighting games, more so than the ones everybody knows, which is Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like, those are the ones that everybody knows about. So I just don't know why. I just get a feeling we're not going to. I see some stuff going on in the chat. I will check that stuff out later. Because I don't want to interrupt the flow of this video. We only have 5 minutes left. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Zenja Fox says, if you emphasize the recording date, it should help with people moaning about cheating because they don't understand how video production works. The recording date of what, Zenja? Like, what are we talking about? Like, the recording date of what? It should help with people moaning about cheating because they don't understand how video production works. I don't think I've ever had anyone accuse me of cheating on one of my videos, like in a video game or just in general. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a key piece of discussion here. Like, I'm scrolling through to see what people are talking about. I don't know where that came from. Mark Greenberg wants me to email him the original bingo template with editing privileges. I don't know if I have it. I'm being completely honest. I'm not sure I have the bingo template. I'm not even sure I kept it. I will check before I head out. I'll probably check tomorrow when I have more time. But yeah, I'm not sure I even have the original template, to be honest. It was just something I downloaded off Google Images and then added the Nintendo Prime logo and then added the free space as, at the time, Mario Tennis Aces, I think, was one at the time. This time, it should probably be Smash Bros. Is the only game Nintendo's announced as being at E3, so obviously that's going to be at E3. Let's see here. Firesoul says a t-shirt would be nice. Yeah, I think some of our longtime followers might be interested in some Nintendo Prime merchandise. It is more expensive, though, significantly. It would cost me like $26 to get you guys a t-shirt. Like, that's a lot more than $5. So it sounds cool to be like, yeah, I'll just give you some merch, but I'm not like one of those people that's sitting on a box of like 500 shirts, you know. Can't afford 500 shirts. So let me see here. I already mentioned that cursing is not allowed unless it is something that can be done on cable access TV. So I think technically the B word can technically be said on cable access. Oh, the Gazette. Oh, the betting special podcast. Okay, that makes more sense. Now there we go. See, that was the context I needed, Gazenja Fox. Was you were talking about the betting special, where if I emphasize when we're recording, we at the very beginning of the betting special, we'll probably say, just for clarification's sake, this is being recorded on this X date, and can be proven it's being recorded on this date if anyone thinks cheating happened. The betting special is mostly for fun anyways, but I don't think anyone's going to assume we're cheating. But I think if Eric loses again, they might assume I'm cheating because I run Nintendo Prime, right? So, like, obviously I'm cheating. Which is why I'm trying to change up the format of the betting special this time to make it where it's very, very highly unlikely there's cheating, and it's highly unlikely that I can use any of my knowledge to my advantage. Like, because I pay more attention to the news than Eric does, so I might have, you know, a better feel for certain things. So I want to format the betting special this time to be something where I don't necessarily have that unique advantage over Eric. And I have an idea to do that, and it's going to be extremely interesting to see how it plays out in real time, because it's going to really even the playing field, assuming that I get this right. And again, I still don't have it fully fleshed out. I don't have to worry about it for 4 hours, but I need to get it fleshed out before then. It's probably going to take me like 40 minutes to flesh it out. So, Fortnite isn't coming up. Isn't on my coming soon screen. Help, because Fortnite hasn't been announced. Hunter O'Brien. Fortnite hasn't been announced yet. The only reason we know about it is because some hackers have discovered the Fortnite data on the eShop, but it's not announced yet. It's not going to be in your coming soon section because it's not announced. It'll be announced next week, and then after it's announced next week, it should appear in the coming soon section. Let me see here. If there's any other questions, we're on the final minute here. All right, I think that's it. I think we hit the end. Cool. What a great time to catch up and hit all of the questions, I think. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of Prime Thoughts. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing a bit about the business side of things, enjoyed the questions we took ahead of time that I was able to prepare for and give longer answers for, and then obviously a little bit of talk on news. I didn't talk much about it, because I knew we were under a time constraint and we lost 15 minutes there in the beginning. I need to cut out of the final piece that goes up here. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, this is Prime Thoughts. It is a live stream that we will be doing almost every single Wednesday at some point during the day, hopefully more so around noon. I hope to make it a noon stream, Central Standard. But right now, it's just whenever I can get it in. And with my upcoming surgery, it's probably going to remain whenever I can get it in until I am back on my feet. But it has been real. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and I will catch you guys live, hopefully tomorrow, for a Primecast that I'm not even sure if it's happening yet. But if it does happen, I'll see you. And if it doesn't happen, we'll probably play some Splatoon 2. All right, folks. Catch you in the next one.